Hi, my name is Ammon Felix. I am 18 years old, and I believe that nothing you do will ever amount to anything. Now that may sound like a very pessimistic view to how I think about things, and I feel it can be seen both ways, and I'll explain to you how it can be seen both ways. I originally came up with this view in middle school when I was thinking about how the universe, in the ultimate end of the universe, it will either implode back in on itself, or it will fizzle out and entropy will reach its maximum, leaving the human race and everything else in the universe completely void in everything that they tried to achieve. And I would sit by myself and think about this, and it was pretty negative. But when I got into high school, I finally found someone that I could talk to about it. And so I talked to them about it. And I told them this idea. And I realized as I was telling them this idea that when I was telling them this idea that it would make suicide a reasonable idea. Because if nothing was to amount to anything, there would be no reason to live. And so I told them this, and it's from my logic, I didn't feel suicidal, but that was just the logical reasoning that was behind it, and it made total sense to me. But I told this friend, and they made me promise never to commit suicide, and I made that promise, and I went on with my life, not talking to that friend as much, with that promise in the back of my mind. And it didn't mean much to me, and that friend really didn't mean much to me, but I kept that in my mind, so I knew that was never an option. And then one day, I was playing a video game, and there was a quote in the game from Shakespeare. And the quote was from his To Be or Not to Be monologue. And it was, "In this sleep of death, what dreams may come." And I kept reading that over and over and over. And I thought about it, and I thought, if I was to kill myself, there wouldn't be anything. If in that sleep of death, suicide, what even is there at all? It's so much better to have something than to have nothing, even if it's meaningless. Like I said, that friend means little to me now, but that promise really helped me figure that out. And now I still hold that same view, that that nothing that you ever do will amount to anything, and that nothing you do will amount to anything. So it's still the same view that I've had since I thought that suicide was a reasonable idea. But it's totally flipped the other way around. Because now I see it as, since nothing will amount to anything, since none of your actions will have meaning in the end, your only purpose is to live for yourself. And to make it worthwhile, because there's nothing else out there. And I want to share one quote from Ayn Rand, which I feel is what my purpose in life is by this point. "For centuries, the battle of morality was fought between those who claim that your life belongs to God and those who claim that it belongs to your neighbors. Between those two who preach that good is self-sacrifice for the sake of ghosts in heaven, and those who preach that the good is self-sacrifice for the sake of incompetence on earth. And no one came to say that your life belongs to you, and that the good is to live it. I am here living, and that is my purpose, to show people that your life belongs to you, and that the best part of it is to live it. And to show others that instead of trying to escape life, should try to live life.